I'd say that my last experience in the semis was a good one. I think that I really surprised the judges because I think I tend to come off as more of a reserved or shy person. I feel like once I went on stage, it kind of changed their perception of that. I really liked I really like to try and, pick out a few things or try to analyze the situation so I can give out my speech at the most effect, like how I did that impromptu small argument thing where I asked one of the judges to give me a statement and I had to, argue on that. Sorry for putting you on the spot, but give me anything I could debate on, nothing too controversial because I'm on time, like any statement. So I think to spice it up in the finals, I want to try involving the audience themselves more, including the judges. And I also just want to come off stronger. I have a question for you all. Who likes wearing these masks? No, seriously, raise your hand if you like wearing these masks. Don't be shy. Wow. Okay, it's okay. So, I used to like wearing masks. Emphasis on used to. If you know me personally, if I see you in a public scenario and you're with other people, I don't want you to see me, so I'm not gonna even look at you. I'll stand like this, make sure you don't see me, but now I can wear a mask. And you won't even know it's me because maybe that looks like him, maybe that looks like Salmaan. No, I'm wearing a mask, you don't know it's me, I don't know it's you. That changed at the beginning of this year. That's because of these glasses. I needed to get glasses because, well, obviously I couldn't see well. But now every time I wear a mask, my glasses fog up. I have to keep breathing like that just so I can see what's in front of me. Because the whole reason I got glasses is because I can't see what's in front of me. And now you're telling me I have to breathe like all the time just to make sure I can see? No ways. I see that our judges all have glasses, so I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But now the question comes, why did we need to wear masks in the first place? And that, my friends, is because of COVID-19. 2 years ago, COVID-19 changed our lives. Everything from the workplace, school, home, all these things changed. What started off as a, sickness in China now became a global pandemic. And when it came to Tanzania, we're like, oh my God, we're going to get sick, we need to stay home. And for some of us, like me, we were happy because we thought COVID meant having a staycation. It's a pause from life. We don't need to go outside. We can stay home, we can relax for a bit. Little did I know I was wrong. Because life moves on, whether you like it or not. And we are realizing this today. COVID-19 is something that's really affecting our lives today. So we have to do what we can to progress with our lives, no matter what the obstacles are. Assalamu alaikum, my name is Salmaan Shariff, and my topic is education, in person versus online. Now, I'm a student at Dar es Salaam International Academy, and the curriculum I do is the International Baccalaureate, or more commonly known as the IB. And for those of you who have taken the IB or have heard something of the sort about it, it is quite a rigorous program. This was my timetable, schedule, for all the mandatory graded assignments I had back in March. I went online learning twice, once in 2020, March to June, and then again this year in February to March. So you see, I've had the experiences in school physically and in school online. Now let me tell you, what my school decided to do was that you had to wear a mask full time. I hate that, clearly. You're in cohorts with your class, meaning you don't get to speak or sit with other classes that you may have friends with. And lastly, social distancing. And for those of us who have trouble paying attention in class, there's no way that you can ask your friend, wait, what are we doing? So, from here on out, I want to talk about the differences between online and physical learning because I'm pretty sure a lot of us students here have experiences. Number one, being in the moment versus through a screen. We know that when we're in school, we have a teacher right in front of us. They're speaking to us and our peers, and we can do various things with each other, such as have discussions, worksheets, maybe do a collaborative project where you can sit together in groups and discuss. You know that when you go out with your friends, it's because the reason why you want to go out with your friends is because you want to see them, right? Right? You're not going to just call them and say, yeah, I think this is okay, I can just talk to you here, we don't really need to meet. The whole reason you want to go out and meet your friends is because you're being there, right there. They're right there in front of you and you're interacting with them. The same thing applies with learning and education. You have to stay like this, you have to make sure my hair is okay, I have to make sure my glasses don't look weird, and then I'm looking at a screen with all these other faces looking like this. That's kind of boring, don't you think? If I wanted to just video call my friends every time I saw them, instead of going out once in a while, how boring would that be? That too, there's a study that shows that when you learn in school, you're more passive learning, but it's more gradually built on. You have various platforms that you use to develop what you're learning. But when you're online, you have to be active at every moment and stage, meaning you're really absorbing everything while it's happening. Secondly, discipline. You're in school, you have to pay attention because the teacher's right there and they can see you. You're also given maybe 15 minutes in a classroom. Once that's over, you can get out of the class, go for your break time, or go on to the next lesson. But when you're online, I have friends who, instead of paying attention in class, were watching YouTube during our classes. And then when the teacher asks them, what is your intake on this? They're like, what? Then the teacher's like, what do you mean, what? Then they start giving a small excuse, oh, my internet's not working. That way you can see that when you're doing online learning, you really need to be on top of task. You need to make sure that you're paying attention when necessary, and you're also making sure that you're doing what you need to do at the appropriate timing. And this leads on to my last point, time management. A little bit about me. As an academic IB student, I'm also required to do things outside the classroom. And that requires me to do things such as community service work or student involvement. So I take part in student council, and I was also a part of DS until recently. There was so much happening, like I showed you on my timetable, and I was finding it so hard to cope with everything. But once I went online, I automatically had more time because, well, some things are reduced. I no longer have to waste time in the car going to school. There's no in-between sessions, or there's time wasted moving from one class to the other. There's no time, I don't have to get ready so much in the morning just to go to school. This extra time allowed me to really grasp my situation and really plan out my day in a way that I made sure I was making the most out of it. So in conclusion, from my experiences, online learning is the right way to go, especially in this time of COVID. It is hard sometimes to go to school physically and wear a mask all the time. So instead of finishing all of these, doing all these things physically, doing them online allows you to really broaden your scope and develop your skills in a way that is really controlled. Therefore, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Samir. It's nice to know that for those of us who are working from home, the challenges are just like you students. So, judges, anyone with a question? Anyone? Zoreda Bhai? Anyone?
Right. Very well presented, Salmaan. My question still is to you, personally, forget the topic that you've been given, do you really, really prefer online learning compared to physical learning? I really want to know that.
I actually really do. So,
you don't miss the social part of life, the meeting people, understanding teachers better, the connection that you have when you're in class, the understanding is so different as well. Why I'm asking this is because I had to move my entire preschool online, and I was one of the first preschools that moved online Zoom sessions for children aged 1 to 6. I know the kind of challenges we faced, and we felt the connection missing, and we really missed being there with them. Although, of course, being a secondary student, you don't hug your teacher, you don't shake hands, you don't play with them. But the bond that you feel with your peers and teachers, you don't feel when you're online. Do you feel that you missed something somewhere, or you were really satisfied with being online?
I understand where you're coming from, because of course I do understand that there is a need for connection between students and their teachers, or students and other students. But personally speaking, the reason why I felt online learning was better for me is because I actually got the time to understand what I was doing with my time. Thinking progressively into the future, I looked at what I was doing now and what I could have done in school. Like I said, I had a lot of different commitments, and sometimes there was lagging in between because of the time differences. So that really allowed me to plan out my day and see what I was missing. And of course, I did miss my friends. But then again, like I said, COVID is impacting us today. We have to keep persevering no matter what the circumstances is. We have seen recently that vaccines have come out, so then some things are opening up. But in the now, right now, we can, like I said, life moves on. We need to find other ways to connect. Like I said, you do still call your friends sometimes. It's not that you can only meet them physically. You still call them and you still miss them here and there. I have sisters who are abroad, and I do miss them, and I haven't seen them for around 1 or 2 years physically. But there's still that connection there because we're persevering. We know at a time, I will be able to meet you. At a time, we will be together, and at that time, we will make up for all this lost time.
And you didn't find it frustrating sitting on that one chair in front of the screen 6 hours straight?
So this is, okay, let me just go into my timetable. We have time periods where we don't necessarily need to go into class. For example, physical education or library or study hall. And that time I'd use, like I said, I plan my day. I'd use it first, jump rope at home. I'd walk around the house. I'd eat something. I'd speak to somebody. So personally, I felt I was able to deal with that.
You know, I'm impressed with how you answered that, because every answer I've got from a youth was totally the opposite of what you're saying. So I'm so impressed of how you've stuck to your decision, and I haven't been able to make you change your decision. So well done.
Thank you.